All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And of course, thanks for subscribing. Truly appreciate the support. We're back at it with FSD 12.5.1.5 on hardware 3. Last drive, we took it to some suburban areas, some highway driving as well. Now we're going to take it to more urban areas as we sort of inch our way towards going to New York City. So this is the closest city, or one of the closest cities to New York City, called Jersey City. And we're going to drive around this particular area for a little bit and see how FSD 12.5 fares. In the last video, we also saw that the areas that it struggled in terms of proximity to curbs. I know a lot of you guys are going to get on me and say, oh, the car is more precise than you, and it got close, but it didn't hit it. Once you get hit with the curb, you get a little bit of PSD. I'll wave them on. Just going to go. Get a little bit of PSD, and that PTSD, I should say. And that PTSD kind of scars you and gives you a little bit paranoid. So I'd rather err on the side of caution and go a little bit, wider on the curb as opposed to going very, very close to the curb. Okay, so that's where I'm a little bit taken aback by this build, is the proximity to curbs. Lane selection seems to be drastically improved. Overall smoothness has been drastically improved as well. And its aggressiveness and assertiveness, I'm on the Assertive Profile, has also been ramped up a bit for good or for bad, where it kind of gets right on people's bumpers, tries to get around people very assertively and aggressively. And that could be a good thing, but it might not be a good thing for others. Overall, the last two drives yielded on our new score system uber black levels of comfortability, and that boded pretty well in terms of the overall drive and the feel. Let's see what it does in a more urban, aggressive environment. See how it takes things, but if it does get too close to the curbs, I will take over. Definitely will take over. But so far, so good. 12.5 has been a marked improvement over 12.4.3, and obviously a significant improvement over 12.3.6 for those that are still on that. I realize a lot of you are still on 12.3.6. My bad. Didn't realize that, but yeah, big improvement. The rebounding and recoil from a complete stop is also greatly improved. It's good to go. Bumpy road. Good distance from the curb on that one. And we're off. Acceleration has improved, braking has improved. A lot of things overall have been improved, polished out, or smoothed out, however you want to refer to it, but just a better overall experience. Let's see how it's going pretty aggressively on this one. Auto offset seems to be improved, but not fixed completely. We're doing 38 and a 25, no one's around. This is probably where I would err on the side of going towards the speed limit, biasing towards the speed limit, and go more towards 25. For those of you that are not from this country, in this area, just please be advised, yes, you were going faster than the speed limit. That is not legally the correct thing to do, but that is what the majority of people are doing, and that's how the flow of traffic is going. So that's why it's advised that you drive to the flow of traffic, and in some instances that may go over the speed limit. So I'm not seeing people get pulled over for speeding 5 miles an hour over. If every single person on the road is going 5 miles an hour, I don't see mass pullovers in that regard. That's just not the way it's done in the States, or particularly in this area. So it is illegal, but it is in some instances permissible to do that if everyone else is doing it, or if the flow of traffic warrants it. So that's going to be something that you guys will see when it gets to your area. If you're not in this country and it gets to other countries, it'll have to adhere to that speed limit, and you have to see what the consequences are. Here, the consequences of going the speed limit or below can be detrimental to the driver. People get aggressive, they get road rage, they hurt people, they throw things. I'm not going to say what those things are. And we have some unfinished road here. A little bit of a bump. If there are manhole covers, I may disengage, like that one. It's nice and smooth, but I'm going to slow down on that one. Big bump. These are not speed bumps. This is just uneven road. I'm going to flag that. The system does not know how to deal with uneven roads. I don't even know if it can distinguish it. But it says bump. That's your indicator as a driver that the road is unfinished. I didn't realize this road was unfinished, but that's okay. It's a work in progress. It still needs work on speed bumps. That's another thing it needs work on, especially when they're covered by shadows like it did in the last drive. That's okay. I'll let it drive a little more here. I'll get on this lane. I'll let it drive here, see what it does, but when the next bump comes up, I'll take over. Just doesn't know how to distinguish the hard edge versus the rough edge of the street. And again, that's okay. Construction is typically where you really want to take over, especially in situations like this where the road is largely unfinished. Glad they're going to redo this road. Glad they smoothed out the potholes for the most part, but that was a pretty big one. We definitely want to be careful here for the raised manholes. Those are problematic on roads like this that are unfinished. This is where the map data should tell me there's like construction here, like a little construction icon to tell me that there's construction so I can choose a different route. That would be nice to have, Tesla. See if we can work on that, work with Google, make that happen, please. Because I definitely wouldn't have taken this route had I known this road had been unfinished. And again, any major potholes or manholes, I'm going to take over. Looks like we're coming up to the finished end where we cross the bridge. Those areas can't be refinished with this same type of pavement. And so far, it's doing a great job staying in the lines, even though the road is a little bit uneven and unfinished. All right, there we go. So very comfortable, but also very assertive in this area. I'm used to driving a little bit more cautious in this area. This is very assertive. Again, 38-25. That's a little bit more aggressive than I would like. I would like to bias it more towards the speed limit. So if it's 25, it needs to go a little bit over. Maybe 32 will be more comfortable. 32 might be a good acceptable speed, but 38 is a little bit aggressive. Again, going over that double yellow line necessarily because these roads are pretty atrocious, as you can see. I'm okay with that. Very bad roads here. This is why I typically don't drive in these areas, but for you guys, I do it for you guys. Put FSD to the test. Oh, good aggressive stop for the pedestrian. But see how it kind of wants to go again? That's a problem. And it could be a problem, I should say. It's aggressive to stop and like let people pass, but it really wants to go. It really wants to go. So it stopped completely hard for the person. Person was walking at a decent pace and it kind of still was trying to lurch up and go forward and get around them and just go, 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 go. That's the mode of 12.5 right now. 12.4 would have waited a little bit longer till they passed completely and then went. But this is a very aggressive and assertive build in this urban environment specifically. Can't say the same in the suburban areas, or maybe just the perception wasn't there. There is a bit of a green light chime that happens. It's enabled on this car, and it happens when you drive the car and you're not paying attention, that light turns green. Would love, see what happens. They're waving us on to go past the truck. They want us to stop and give us hand signals. We'll stop here because it doesn't know how to deal with that, and the light's red. See what happens here. Garbage truck scenario. I'll re-engage and see what happens. If it tries to cross over, I'll stop it. They're gonna stop for some more garbage soon. Right now, thinking about it. A little too close to the pedal here. I was thinking about it, didn't act on it. That was me just a little too close to the pedal. They're still throwing out garbage. They're turning here. So I'll stop here and resume. Let it make its turn. Hopefully the light is, see how it like aggressively wants to go? That's kind of its mode where, again, for the good or the bad, that could be a problem, may not be a problem. But just going back to the point I made about the green light chime, when you're not looking and you're driving, you have it enabled. It lets you know when the light turns green. Would love for that to just always be active when FSD is there. That way, if you're not paying attention, you're looking at the road, but you're not necessarily paying attention, you at least are alerted when FSD is going to resume going at a light. That'd be great just to have it on all the time and just bing, little chime to let you know that it's going to go. The lights turn green, just so you can be extra alert. Again, looking around is okay. Looking to the left or right is okay at a light. And then if it's a scenario where, you know, the light turns green, you want to be alerted and just be aware that the car's going to move again. Little aggressive stop there. It's just aggressive overall right now. I'm not sure. I've felt this before. I might change it down to average just because it feels overly assertive right now. Like it really, really is trying to get me to our destination. And just as an FYI, our destination, we're going to be going to a train station. So the use case here is going to be picking up someone from a train station and then driving them, you know, to their destination. So a couple of disengagements for interesting use cases. I didn't get a chance to flag or report the garbage can situation. That is not a typical situation to be caught by a garbage can, but it is a unique situation nonetheless. Definitely something that Tesla needs to pay attention to. Tesla, if you're watching, take that clip from this video and maybe go ahead and make some adjustments there. Probably should have waited until the garbage truck cleared the way so it could clear the intersection as opposed to trying to go around it. Great job not blocking the box here. That little do not block the intersection. It definitely knows how to read those and adhere to those, so it's not blocking the intersection going this way. Excellent job there. But that garbage truck interaction definitely needs some work. So Tesla, please take a look. Needs to get over here. Good aggressive way to get over. We're getting closer and closer to downtown, so it becomes a little bit of a tight situation. This person has the turn signal on, it's letting them go. Great. Now it's gonna go. Just made the light, which is great. And it's going to make the turn here. And we're good. Blind sweeping corner here. Good job slowing down and controlling, going around it. Good job keeping a distance from these pylons in the middle. Nice smooth way to take this. In case you can't tell, this road is going downhill, so a little bit of a decline here, causing the car to go a little bit faster. The car is doing a great job controlling its speed as it goes down this winding little hill here. Now, the scenario we want to test out here, the real catch of improvement here over previous builds is going to be just before we get to the train station. There is a turn-only light that FSD ran last time. I didn't check the mail recently, or at that time I don't think I got a ticket, but probably could have gotten a ticket very easily because it ran the turn only light. It didn't recognize the turn only light with the arrow pointing right as being, being green or red. It thought it was a red light that it could turn on, which was not the right thing to do. And I wasn't able to intervene in time just because I wanted to see what it was going to do, and it actually ran the light. So that was not good. That's going to be the indicator of change here for us, is if it can adhere to that light and not turn if it's red. If not, I'll disengage and try to report back. Good job, nice and slow over the train tracks. Cars are coming, needs to get in. Nicely done. Now we got some pretty tight roads, one way, but multiple stops in between. You'll start to see. So we'll see how it adheres to that. Any pedestrians or people coming, see if it stops. There is no stop sign here. They have a stop sign. We have the right of way, but we're stopping and letting them go for some odd reason. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. No harm, no foul. This road has the right of way. These roads have the stop signs. This time it went the right way, so that was great. Now maybe I just didn't see it. I'll check the video, replay again. Maybe there was a stop sign on that one, but it did the right thing the second time around. Lots of shadows here. Tight quarters, not the tightest, but there's tight quarters. Not like Philly tight streets or Boston tight streets, but good enough. People start to peek out. It's not overreacting when it sees people peeking out, trying to make a run for it. That's okay. Overall, nice and smooth. Here's where we do have the all-way stop. Pedestrian coming. Good job stopping. And it goes for it. Great job. Nice and smooth, nice and comfortable. Not really much to say here. No stop sign on this one. Can go straight through. And it did. Pretty good so far. Way to go through. Just being extra cautious here. We don't have the stop sign, but it is going a little bit slow and methodical, which is okay. Taking its time, making sure the people are not doing anything extra. Make our turn. Complete stop. Cyclist coming. Lets the cyclist go. This person just kind of runs it. Okay. So we're going to get to this light up here. We're going to make a left. And then after that, we're going to kind of wind around the road. And then we're going to get to that turn only light, which again is going to be our indicator of change here, or progress for 12.5 over 12.4 or 12.3. Interesting how it's going to handle this. The bike only lane, good job getting over and around it, not just riding straight through it. I have a feeling bus lanes are not handled in 12.5. We'll find that out when we go to New York City. The bus only lanes, we'll see what happens. It was kind of working last time in 12.4, but I feel like it's not really been addressed or focused on. But again, I don't know what I don't know, so could be something different. Just a little chime, boom, just to let me know that the car's going. A little toasty in here. Nice smooth stop here. All right, the moment of truth, especially if the light is red. I'm gonna go around this bend here, and then the turn only light is there. It's already red. Here we go. Turn only. Let's see what happens. It's going to stage behind this car, so by default it'll be okay, but we were the first to the light, And now it turns green. Can't really tell in this instance because it wasn't first to the light. Go wide, go wide. There we go. Good distance from the curb. All right. We are here. I'm going to just edit the trip. Take this one out. Go here, and we will resume. Police officer right behind us. So thank goodness we were not first. All right. Here we go. Continuing the trip. SD card got full up again. My bad. But we're still here. We're going to try to make this turn now. I'll position us to make the turn. I'll let the car do the rest. Police officers are abound. So I'll try to be a little bit aggressive here. But we're still here. Can you let me in? He's not going to let me in. Let me in, brother. Thank you. All right. Let's carry on. All right, so getting us to the airport was good. Good job waiting for the dog. No visualization of the dog. Speaking of visualization, I noticed someone asked about it's not visualizing as many cars on 12.5. It is, but the Model X has a black profile. So cars that are parked to the side, you might see them all now, and right now that we're in the shadows, they're a little bit darker. So when the sun hits and we're showing it, you might not be able to see them as well. So cars that are in its path, that are actively moving, are a brighter shade of gray. Cars that are inactive are a darker shade of gray, which may not be picked up on camera so well, especially when we're in the sunlight. So I think it is still visualizing the same amount of cars and pedestrians. It's just harder to see on the S and X. Let's just imagine we picked our person up from the train station, car double parked. See if it goes around or stays the course. Looks like it wants to go around, but it's going around very carefully. Turn signal on, which is the right maneuver. Doesn't wait for the pedestrians. It goes straight through. Nice and slow and careful. Good job. People sometimes try to jump and try to run at the last minute. So a little extra caution is good. We're going to make this turn, kind of blind behind this truck. And it does it. Go a little wider. There we go. Nice. Nice and smooth around this bend. Kind of wanted to stop and wait for this person. Not the right behavior. I'm going to give it some accelerator. A little extra cautious. I'm okay with it being extra cautious. It wasn't a phantom brake. It was just like, hey, let me let this guy go. Not the right thing to do in that instance, but not necessarily the wrong thing to do. Or I should say not the ideal thing to do in that instance. All right, there goes our lovely New York City. Just there, right across the water. We're right on the water. We'll go there next, or soon, once we get a sense of what this can and cannot do with 12.5. Great job maintaining this curve. These barricades are typically not there, so it's just like people. That would have been a really good, interesting use case. More like this. But I guess I see the value in having the barricades there. People are running, and cyclists and kids, and people are going around that turn pretty fast. Just gonna try to pull over here because we're at our destination, so we'll call it a day. Sorry, guy, I got my turn signal on. My bad. All right, so that'll wrap it up for today. Just doing some driving around Jersey City, an urban area, one of the closest cities to New York City, and just trying to see how it fares. A lot more aggressive, a lot more assertive in this profile. I think in terms of confidence, I think it did pretty well. I was pretty confident overall, but again, some decisions that it made gave me a little less confidence in its confidence on what it's doing. In terms of comfort, the comfort has gone down a little bit. The comfort was good until it made certain decisions, again, that made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Not being able to deal with unpaved roads, I knew was an issue, so I'm not really talking about that. That was also uncomfortable. But just getting out behind the garbage truck, trying to get around it, being a little bit more assertive than I would like, being a little too assertive, almost like a taxi cab, a New York City taxi cab, that is, in this area, which is a little bit different. So confidence goes down. As a result, safety goes down as well. Again, I felt a little uneasy, unsafe when it's aggressive like that, when I don't know what it's going to do, if it's going to brake kind of hard or start to accelerate when someone is not clear of the path. Those things give it a little bit of a notch down, a ding down from where it was before. And then obviously, in terms of decision making, made a lot of the right decisions, not all the great decisions, especially behind the garbage truck, especially, again, just inching up when the person's not clear of the path. Not a good thing to do. But it made sometimes poor decisions at times. Please don't go. So that kind of gave it a ding as well. All right. So with that said, based on everything that it did and how it drove in this instance, it got us from point A to point B, no problem. But it wasn't the most comfortable. It wasn't the most confidence inspiring. And that was not a good move, sir. But it finished the drive, right? So with that regard, it kind of reminded me of a New York taxi, and therefore I think I'm going to put it in a New York taxi at a 3, right? And 3 for a New York taxi, right? That's kind of how it felt to me. That's the feeling it gave me. Just driving really aggressively, really assertively, inching up forward, not knowing if it's going to try to drive around someone aggressively, not stop at the last minute. It really felt like New York City cab levels of driving. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this drive. Let me know what you thought about the previous drive if you hadn't seen it yet, or let me know if you got 12.5 as well. All right. Until the next time, with the pigeon there, enjoy your day. Enjoy your Tesla.